Can I ask a question?
Sure,
I'm a
please.
I'm a little confused as a board member, to be perfectly honest. Are we legally mandated to vote yes?
You're not legally mandated to vote any other way, but you do have an obligation to comply with the laws of the state of New Jersey and upholding your responsibility. Keep in mind, you act as an entity. Individually, you can vote however you choose, right? As an entity, you have to be mindful to protect the board. That means protect the entity. That means protect the students, the programming, the funding, right? So there's ramifications in every which way. I understand exactly what you said about Trenton is sending everyone back and forth in which way. The laws are the laws. And, unfortunately, there may be more rigid than we may prefer. There is a reason why boards of education are required to have legal counsel. It's because it's very costly when boards of education have to engage in litigation because they didn't comply or there was a violation of some sort. The goal here isn't to frustrate parents' ability to participate in their children's education and the formulation of the programming. Is to try to, best possible, do that within, right, the authority and the powers that were given. That's not to say they can't change and they won't ever change. But the goal here is for the board to operate within its authority so that it can, to the best of its ability, right, hear the residents and comply and try to the best that it can, make sure that the programs and the services and everything that it has responds to those concerns. So the board, each and every board member may vote how they want. My role here is to protect the entity. And so in providing that opinion and that advice, I know you think I said comply a lot. Well, that's the reality of the system that we live in, is legal compliance. And that's why there are laws. And when, people are unhappy with laws, they go to their legislature and they vote for individuals in a certain way, and they hope that those representatives listen to them and work to change the laws that are frustrating individuals, if that is the case. So I'm not telling anybody how to vote. I'm just reminding that there are, and I think Ms. Donna had mentioned that before, other ways to continue to revise and address curriculum. But as an entity in the whole, I would like to remind every board member of the possible consequences of ultimately the decisions that they make, whatever they may be.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other?
There was a question, and I'm sorry, Dr. Mingel, I don't know if you addressed it directly, but maybe you can. The potential, so this is relatively new, right? With school boards voting, like it's just happening right now. So when, yes, there are other districts who may have voted down their curriculum or whatever. And so we don't know yet the ramifications, but could you explain what some of the risks are, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We hope nothing, right? But what the potential risks are.
Correct. It could be possible loss of state funding. It could be individuals going after your teaching staff members or administrators' licenses and certificates. It could be corrective action plans. It could be civil liability. It could be ethics charges. I mean, there are a series of consequences, ramifications, however you want to describe them or characterize them. But ultimately, you have to make that decision.
Have any of those things happened to other districts that have not passed the
It is very soon, so I'm not aware,
So no.
but I am not aware of what those are. My recommendation would never be, my legal opinion would never be to violate or to not comply with state law. That's my legal opinion. And everyone can vote how they would like with that opinion being provided.